Yo! What it do, everybody? Hard pass. Back again. 2 weeks in a row. Can you believe it? I'm accompanied with the one and only Rembreezy.
Some would say it's a streak.
Hey, we're streaking. We're streaking.
Back to back, baby.
What's up, Jacob? Denny's.
Delaney's has
rats. Hey,
that's the way to start it.
listen, I cannot confirm that.
Confirm
sure.
nor deny.
No, yeah, confirm. Watching the Braves over here. Braves are up 2-0 right now on the Phillies.
I can tell you that the Applebee's down the road had a possum running the bar one night. So those are facts.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. So we're gonna talk a little bit about we got some stuff happening in the sports world. We have training camp started back for a lot of places, for a lot of people. What's up, Matt?
What's up?
How you doing, brother? Maybe we'll talk some more college football like we did last week. We did talk a little college football, which was surprising. Welcome back.
We're getting there, dude.
We're getting there. Let's see here. What do you want to start with, Remy? I'll let you lead off.
I don't know how many people we got already joined up, but my favorite topic of the week so far, and I'm sure it's been yours too, is the Kyler Murray contract just situation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we'll talk some soda here in a minute, Johnny. What's up? So Kyler Murray apparently is a baby. He's a child, and they had to put in his contract, if y'all don't know, so he has to do every day 4 hours of independent film study. And during this film study, he cannot have a video game on. He can't be playing video games. He can't even have a TV on. They want him to be dialed in to film study. So pretty hilarious that's in the contract. It's one of those things where as like if you're a Cardinals fan, you hate to see that because it's kind of like, bro, we just gave this kid a lot of money and he's a kid. He acts like a kid. Interesting times. And it also makes him kind of like a clown. So his own organization kind of clowned him a little bit,
It's crazy that it just was just leaked. Not even really leaked. It's just been confirmed. There's no denying that that's in his deal. That's 100% in his contract. And I think you see why they were hesitant to give him that deal. I think that stuff is why they waited and but you got to think too, man, this is the same guy who went and deleted all the Cardinal stuff off his Instagram, did all that stuff. It's like, nah, man, it's nothing against the team. It's just young people do that. No, they don't. Mm-hmm. Who goes in and just deletes all their pictures off their Instagram?
Been a clown since, yeah. He was being a kid.
He's I guess.
Before we go in real quick, I think your audio is picking up through your webcam. Because it definitely sounds a little different than you normally sound.
Let me go to my little settings here, dude.
Before we get into it today, how's the chat doing? How's the boys doing? How are we looking out there? If you make that happy, yeah, way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Got it.
Yep.
So.
If he makes it halfway through the film, he gets cheese and juice box.
Make sure he packs his Lunchables. It's just another situation of it's the story of Jamarcus Russell, where they sent him home with the CD. They said, "Hey, man, we want you to watch all this tape." Said there's going to be some plays on it. We want you to pick out the plays that you think will work best and what you feel most comfortable running. Came back the next day, said, "Hey, what plays do you think going to fit your skill set the best?" He said, "Oh, all of them. I really liked every play that was on there." It was a blank DVD that it didn't have anything on it.
Damn.
And so they caught him in that lie. And I think you see it's not a question of talent with Kyler Murray. I think clearly the talent is there, but when you're making how much was that deal for? $40-something million a year commitment to a young kid
Yeah, I mean,
I think
that's the thing.
The
You
main
gotta do
problem is everyone's talented in the NFL.
Yeah.
You
It's
don't get
who's
there
willing
if
to
you're
work.
not talented. It's how you take that next step is who's
Mhm.
willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady was the most run-of-the-mill football player in the world. He put in the work. You know, it's the same with a lot of those great guys. What made Peyton Manning so great was not his athleticism, is because how he could dissect the play and how he could, you know, he put in a lot of film study, a lot of work in the film room. And to be honest with you, the best quarterbacks of all time, that's where you really take that next step.
Yeah. It's comical. And bro, I don't know if you've been watching the reactions to it. It's like, bro, everybody's got excuses all out the wazoo for like
Facts.
what that whole no video games, no TV, no nothing like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, clearly the Cardinals thought this was an issue.
Right.
Is like, and I mean, honestly, like you look at how they've done, they usually start off on fire and towards the back half of the year, the last 2 years,
Teams start figuring them out a little bit.
They fizzle. And I think it is just clearly, hey, we're going to pay you $41 million a year. You're going to take the time to try to take that next step as a quarterback and get us somewhere. Because I'll be honest with you, as talented as he is, what have they won? They haven't won anything. And now they were a very bad team when he got there. Yeah, that's how you get the number one pick. But they've done a lot to support him as far as playmakers and getting him guys that can catch passes. DeAndre Hopkins, Zach Ertz, you know,
Right.
the breakout that was James Conner last year. You know, they've had weapons.
They're definitely investing in him.
Yeah.
Like
and
with people around him. And, you know, when he fell flat on his face in the playoffs, I mean, he blamed everybody but himself. He didn't.
that was childish to me too, was that whole situation of like, oh, the team's against me and they put all this loss on me. And I'm like, I remember when that story first broke, I'm like, bro, I don't think people are putting the loss on you. I think the loss is more on your head coach. To me, the hot seat is Cliff Kingsbury. It's not the quarterback.
I agree, but dude, you're the leader of the team. You're supposed to be the leader. Even if you didn't play poorly, you come out, which he did, by the way, was terrible.
No, he was.
You come out and go, you know what, man? This is on me. I'm supposed to be the quarterback. It starts and stops with me. I should have done better. But dude, he just doesn't take any responsibility to anything he does.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, all the talent in the world.
Listen, I got him in fantasy. I'm his fantasy owner in Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
He has so many up and down weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the ankle injury last year, who knew what was going on with him?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and this is the NFL we live in, though. Like, you look at a kid like him, he was number one overall pick. There, like I said, he's got the talent there.
Right.
You're handcuffed almost into, you have to sign him. Like, you have to sign that deal.
Yep.
It's unfortunate. It's like, yeah, there's probably things that the organization would like more out of him, but what are you going to do? You're going to let him walk? I mean, you're who you're replacing him with. Just the pool of quarterbacks just isn't out there like that for you to just go, yeah, we can let Kyler Murray walk because we don't think he tries hard enough in the film room.
I know, but
it
is a shitty situation in the NFL where either you got a guy or you don't, and there's a lot of teams out there that hope they got the guy, that wish they got the guy,
mm-hmm.
that really cannot do anything but think that he's got to be the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really in actuality, he's a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's not great, but you got to invest all this money into good quarterbacks. Look at
$41 million.
I know.
$41 million. And like I said, $41 million into a guy you can tell the organization doesn't have complete faith in. That's crazy to me.
Doesn't have complete faith in, but built the entire team around.
Yeah. You know who this is good for? This is good for Lamar Jackson. That signing was massive for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Who would you rather have, Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray?
I would, from a talent standpoint, I think I'd rather have Kyler because I like his arm more. Because I mean, he can absolutely sling it. I don't love the issues with him aren't on the field. I think a lot of the issues are off the field.
I'm a big Kyler guy, and I'm not the biggest running back Lamar guy, but I would rather take Lamar Jackson.
I mean,
he's done way more.
That's why I think from that contract standpoint, Lamar has more to back up asking
Right.
for more than what Kyler got. Like he can look at Kyler's deal and go, dude, I've done more than that guy. Like,
right. And how
let
is
me
it's
get
time.
my money. Yeah,
Let me
it's
get my
time.
money.
But I mean, I just think from playing the game, we're going to learn a lot about Lamar Jackson this year. The knock has always been the arm talent. It's not there. You look at that team, and outside of Mark Andrews, he's got Rashad Bateman, who showed promise as a rookie, but coming into year 2, Rashad Bateman's his number 1 wide receiver.
Yep.
And his number 2 wide receiver is Devin Duvernay. I mean, you want to talk about the opposite of giving you the weapons you need. The Ravens have done the opposite.
He is weapon. He is the weapon.
Yeah,
He's the one. So it's weird. But it's crazy is, like you said, they've kind of done the opposite of what they've done with Kyler.
Mm-hmm.
But he still does really well with what he's got.
I mean, he gives the Ravens something like just a different dynamic than any other team in the league has. And so that's why they've been very successful in the regular season, because no one else plays like the Ravens do.
Devin Duvernay, the Texas legend.
Yeah. Not really a number 2 wide receiver.
AFC North is the toughest division in football. Maybe. NFL is always weird about that, where you would come in, you would just be a surefire, hey, this division's going to be nuts.
I hate to break it to you, old Andrew Tibria, but if your Browns are throwing out old burnt brisket at quarterback, that's a couple easy dubs for the rest of the division.
Who else is in it? You got the Steelers.
It's not the toughest division of football.
No.
The toughest division of football is the AFC West, without a doubt. It's 100% the AFC West. That division is stacked top to bottom. Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers. That's the best division of football.
Yes, that division is the best division.
That's wild. So
Josh Rosen.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think now is the Ravens. What are they going to do with Lamar after Kyler got signed? It's going to be interesting to see. But I'll tell you what, poor Kyler. I don't know what video games he'd be playing, bro, but
he apparently plays the shit out of them.
Got to cut that shit out.
It's weird. They both live in the same city, but he is the football version of DeAndre Ayton. So DeAndre Ayton is a basketball player for the Suns, and he says if it was up to him, he would play video games every day, all day. That's the only thing he would ever do. He just has to happen to go play basketball for a living.
Yeah,
and
blessed being 7 foot tall.
And DeAndre Ayton also apparently likes to get a little buzz on, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, also got paid. So,
yep. Also did get paid.
Also got paid.
So, but it was reluctantly paid. Very weird.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them. I mean, if we have to.
Arizona's a weird town. So, the Coyotes in hockey, they're moving. They're no longer going to be out by the football stadium in Glendale. They're moving to Tempe, and they're trying to get the town to build them a new arena in Tempe. They're playing in a all-purpose new stadium they built for Arizona State. It only seats 5,000 people.
Who are they? The Chargers?
Remy, 5,000 people.
You remember the Chargers played their home games in a soccer stadium
It's the smallest pro stadium ever.
Yeah, I mean, of course. It's a high school stadium. But you remember when the Chargers played those home games in that soccer stadium and still couldn't sell it out.
No, they did. They sold out to the other team.
Yeah, the away team would.
Yeah, the away team would show up.
East Coast teams would come up, show out the Charger fans, all 10 of them.
The Chargers, dude. I like the Chargers. They should have never left.
They're a good team. They've got a great look, and
no fans.
No one cares.
And no one cares.
No one cares.
And that's weird.
That's weird.
That's weird.
No one cares.
Caleb said Lamar Jackson's price keeps rising. That is true.
It does. Constantly rising.
I mean, hockey. The majority of everyone in the U.S. don't. You say that it actually has a very large. I mean, you would think it would be less than what it is. It's still not. It's still
I can't imagine Phoenix has a huge hockey fan base.
You say that, dude, and there was when we went to a game, and that was back when they still had the COVID thing, so you had to sit every so many seats away. It was sold out. And they probably average, 10 to 15,000. So now they got to condense that to 5. Tickets are going to be. I was like, I want to go to games because the stadium's a mile from my house. I'm like, but I'm not. I don't want to pay out my ass to watch
to go
the
see
Coyotes play
the
hockey.
Coyotes play hockey. Dude, hopefully they make the playoffs though, because that would be wild. Playoff hockey in a 5,000 person stadium.
They're terrible. Michael Harris.
Oh man.
So what are we moving on to next?
So I guess we can go back up to old Jay Rossi.
Jay
asking
Rossi's
about
topic.
Juan Soto.
We got the MLB trade deadline coming up. The Braves are going to be buyers, of course, because if you're in a position to go for it in baseball, you become a buyer. And the Miami Marlins they said today that everyone's on the trade table except for Sandy Alcantara, their star pitcher. So everyone. So the Braves might go get Jorge Soler and bring him back like they did Duvall and won it all.
I mean,
So
it would just make sense, right? It would just make sense. You literally did it last year with Duvall. Now Duvall's out for the year. Go
right.
back, get Soler, bring him back, make another run for it. The big name, of course, is Juan Soto. And
Juan Soto,
does he
Juan
get traded?
Soto.
Where does he get traded to?
See, I want to say he gets traded, but dude, the haul that's going to take to get this guy is nutty, as it should be.
He's still, what, 23, 24 years old?
Yep. The haul should be crazy. But I think they said that the Cardinals are his likeliest suitor right now. The Cardinals, the Padres are interested. Of course, New York is always interested. New York will always have their hand in it.
The Dodgers.
Word was there's a deal in place, but no details. Okay, we'll circle back to the NFL in a minute, buddy. I see you. We're going to talk some baseball here. So I don't know. I don't know where he ends up going. Where do you think he goes? Stay put.
This
offseason?
weird feeling he ends up as a Padre. I feel it in my bones.
Padre, dude. I
feel it in my bones. He ends up with the Padres.
You know what? I would love him to go to the other division, and like, in my opinion, I just like the Yankees buying everybody because that means the Braves are better off. But but the Padres, the Padres are cool. I don't mind the Padres. They're not the Dodgers, so as long as the Dodgers don't get him, I'm fucking chilling.
I'm just like, in my mind, if I'm the Padres,
the Mets might also try to make a trade, but it's going to be tough for them to trade inside the division.
I think the Dodgers can throw out some like names to include in the deal.
The Dodgers have prospects.
Yeah.
They have a lot of them.
So I think the Dodgers could probably bring a really strong package. But if I'm the Padres, I'm looking at the idea of if Fernando Tatis Jr. ever gets healthy and can stay healthy.
That's right. All right, sweet.
Teaming up Tatis and Soto with their ages, how old they are. They're very young dudes. Like, you could run that for forever, 10, 15-year run with the two of those guys.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the Braves try to get a starter as well. We'll see. I know there's going to be a lot of movement. Baseball is one of those things where they're not afraid to move their best players.
Who else are the big names? I know, Jonathan, you were talking about JD Martinez might be on the block.
Also, do you think Xander Bogaerts, he's a free agent for the Red Sox this coming up all season. You think what's your opinion on that, old Jonathan? What you got on the Red Sox? I think the Red Sox will be sellers. I think the Marlins, of course, are going to be sellers. You know what? Another name is interesting for the Braves because the Giants have been kind of floating around a little bit, getting Jock Peterson back.
Yeah, I mean, he's been killing it this year.
Yeah,
too.
He's been killing it.
He's been unbelievable this year.
That was one of the guys that kind of lost out on. Sox are willing to part with JD, but nothing set in stone. Okay, there you go. There's your Red Sox insider.
That's our insider information from our Red Sox concierge of Jonathan Rossi here.
I don't think I think they want to send, but they want to give Bogaerts kind of like a decent deal. but I think Bogarts end up moving and they put Story back at shortstop. I think y'all signed Trevor Story with the idea of, hey, we don't have to go all out for Xander Bogarts. I think they definitely want to keep Devers. I think Devers will be the one that they invest in. I think y'all have some leeway with Bogarts, but Bogarts might take a hometown discount just to stay as a Red Sox. So we never know. But I think you got him. I mean, it's now or never with that. Most of the time, if your player goes into free agency, he's gone. That's how the Braves work. You definitely need to touch the game.
That's how the Braves work.
That's how the Braves work, boy.
Oh,
Facts.
man.
They said definitely need to touch on the Gamecocks basketball recruiting pickup and the update on football progress. Well, Matthew, we talked about that in our last live that you did not show up at. No, I'm just fucking with you. But I know it was pretty random. You probably looked at your phone and was like, wait, they went live? So
I mean, it only been a couple months, so
it's only been a couple months since the NFL draft. But we could talk about it again. He signed, I guess we can say that.
yeah, he is officially
GG Jackson, officially Gamecock. I think Caleb has season tickets. And if there was a time to have season tickets to a basketball game, it is right now, that's for sure. So, I mean, he's just literally the greatest basketball recruit ever at South Carolina. So that's pretty good, I guess. I don't know how good we're gonna be.
I mean, it generates buzz. And in all fairness, when you've got a new head coach and a program that hasn't done anything in the past 5 years, we had the Final Four run, haven't done anything since. That's what you're looking for. I mean, just something to generate some buzz. This is my issue though with the team is like I can't even tell you another player on the team. I know people are like, oh, we got this transfer and we got this, and I'm like, I don't know one other player that's done anything on the team. So it's going to be tough. Like, I don't think we're going to be a great basketball team, but we'll have a good player, and that'll generate, like I said, some excitement, some buzz, and who knows? Maybe if we have a good enough run, make the tournament, make the NIT, something like that.
If we make the tournament, that's the biggest dub.
Mm-hmm.
First year coach making the tournament in South Carolina. The biggest problem with South Carolina is they have the arena. They just don't pack it out. No one goes and watches them play.
I will say, and we talked about this all last year,
but
I'm excited just to get a fresh face in there, dude. As much as Frank meant to the program getting us to that Final Four, it was time. It was just time.
What's the Timberwolves kid? What's that kid's name again? I keep forgetting. I don't know why. The dude from Georgia, Anthony
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, one of the highest recruits for Georgia. They were terrible.
Yeah,
when he played there, he was number one.
They were awful.
So
they were a very bad team.
I definitely think
it's probably some more of the same. Honestly, so I'm not really getting my hopes up on wins and losses. I'm excited that we have a good player. But like I said, to me, it's just like I'm the thing that brings me excitement is just a new opportunity. Love what Frank Martin did, but it was time, man. It
got very stale.
It got very stale. I don't think the players were listening to him anymore. Like I said, as soon as last year when we decided to bring him back for another year, and then all of a sudden I saw like all these players were transferring and going into the draft when they shouldn't have. I was like, that's not a good sign. That's like, to me, you would think your players would like rally behind you. It's like, yeah, they kept him, I'm going to stay. But no, they didn't. They all bailed. So I'm happy. Hopefully the new guy works out. I don't know. It's a whole different ball game when you go from the level that what's his name, Lamont Paris has been at to where we are now, to go in the SEC. And the SEC is not the biggest basketball powerhouse, but it's
take Chattanooga
tough team.
To the tournament. So I'm not gonna poo-poo the hire. Clearly, we had other guys that was higher on our list that we didn't end up getting. But who are we to turn up our nose at people?
That's what I'm saying.
We're South Carolina basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can't be too picky here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited about that, and the buzz around the football team right now is high. I'll tell you that. I know, Matt, you wanted us to talk a little bit about the football
so we're gonna
team.
talk some football. We have some recruiting momentum. Shane, as much as I still love Carolina football. I always will. It affects me more than it should. But I don't know if Shane Beamer will ever get us to where we want to be, but damn if he ain't trying.
Yeah.
And I think he's the perfect guy for the job. He's making South Carolina fun and flashy to these players, and you know, kind of keeping it lighthearted a little bit, doing all kind of stuff on TikToks and social media. You know, he's out there always talking on social media and stuff. I think he gets it.
That's the new age coach, though. I think that, and that's why I absolutely, you know, I wanted Beamer originally when his name came up because I thought, you know, with his connections to Columbia and just the want to be our head coach, you know, was the big thing for me. But he's the modern day head coach. He's that guy that will interact with his players. He's a player's coach. They love him. You know, he does these stupid little social media things and puts these videos out and gets everybody hyped up. He got mayonnaise dumped on his head after the bowl game. You know, it's like players are drawn to stuff like that. You know, we're talking about kids that, you know, they're literally coming out of high school. They're children, but they love seeing stuff like that. And I think that's massive. I think more and more you're going to see us going towards coaches. The successful coaches are going to be guys like him and not necessarily the more strict disciplinarian head coaches like what we had in Muschamp, what you see out of Nick Saban. I think you're going to see more coaches be that players type of coach. And I think it's going to lead to good things. I'm hyped. Like I said, it is South Carolina. Who knows if Shane will ever get us to an SEC title? But
my only problem in South Carolina is we kept the OC. And it's kind of like we talked about the other day where it's kind of catch-22. We're getting a lot of great offensive talent because of the OC and Satterfield's scheme and getting these quarterbacks and stuff. But also, no matter how good they are, can he coach them?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we kept him kind of blew my mind. It's like I watched enough last year to be like, man, this was just a poorly coached team on the offensive side of the ball.
But also, the talent was just not there either. So we'll see. You know, I will give him I guess we'll have to give him a pass for the first year. If he's terrible with Spencer Rattler quarterback, then he's got to go. But more importantly than that, though, is the offensive line. If the offensive line doesn't pick it up, then it doesn't matter what we try to do. It doesn't matter how pretty your scheme is or how much you want to run or how much, you know, whatever you're trying to set up, which that's another reason why I didn't like the OC is we never set up plays. When's the last time you seen a South Carolina team run something to set up a screen or to do this for down the road to look for it to be like this? Sometimes people overcomplicate calling offensive plays.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. That's why I think if you go back and look at the bowl game and what we did in the bowl game, Kevin Harris had like 27 carries in the game. You know, we didn't get too pretty with it. We knew, hey, this guy he's the bell cow, just keep handing the ball. And we literally had Dakerin Joyner at quarterback most of the time. You know, he can't throw the ball. So it's like we just simplified the game.
They ran it down their throats. And then Dakerin Joyner made a couple passes.
I mean, that's why I said, man, that's not the same team we watched all year, bro. It's just not
different.
It's not the same team. But I mean, you did have a month to prepare. So if we just get a month in between every game, then I have high hopes for the offense. So I don't know, man.
It's a 9 a.m. kick, Caleb, for me.
9 a.m. kickoff.
I'm not allowed to. That's a big game. South Carolina versus Arkansas.
Massive.
Arkansas is fucking
massive.
Good. They're insanely hard to. They're good. First off, they have a really good coach. They have a really good quarterback. They're insanely hard to play at Arkansas. So I don't expect us to win that one. But if we did, now we're talking.
Yeah. See, and that's because Matt, I know you're a big Arkansas guy. That's going to be kind of, I guess, the bar is when we play that Arkansas game. For South Carolina fans, it's going to be, do they just run us over? And if they do, okay, we're a middle of the pack team.
Right.
Or do we hang with them, possibly win the game?
Is it a ball game? Right.
Then, okay, if we can win that game or keep it very close, then I think we have a pretty good team because
You know,
Arkansas is going to be nice this year.
I'm not going to be the person I used to always was and have high hopes and always say we're going to do whatever. I say we're a 7-win football team. We have a ceiling of a ex Heisman running quarterback. Now, if he plays like that and we block for him and we have a great run game and our defense plays the way I know it's going to play, then we're going to be good. By the way, Matt Olson 2-run home run raised up 5-0. But because South Carolina on the defensive side of the ball has plenty of talent, and there's one thing I know from our defense coordinator last year, bro. Just watching them play was mind blowing. Because think about all the bad, terrible defense we had with Muschamp and T-Rob. We were out there playing with Rush, who was a wide receiver. They moved him to corner, and he was out there locking people down, playing man-to-man bump and run coverage.
I have more faith. I have more faith in the defense for sure than I do the offense.
I think the defense will be good. We'll see. Either way, I'm just happy that we're not going to suck. We're going to be watchable.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
Because there was times last year where I literally sat and we talked about it. Some of the worst football games I have ever watched in my entire life of watching football, and I've watched a lot of it. That UL Lafayette game was maybe the most hilarious football game I've ever seen.
It was embarrassing, bro. It was embarrassing. But I mean, you gotta look at it too. Okay, so if you're not a South Carolina fan, I know a couple of you aren't in the chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally starting this season, and your opinions on Spencer Rattler can be whatever they are.
Right.
But we go into this season with a guy who last year was a Heisman Trophy candidate, was a 5-star recruit, one of the top recruits in the country at the quarterback position, starting at quarterback. Last year, at this time, the guy that ended up being our starting quarterback was on the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And throughout the season, they never even could get him a jersey that fit him right. So,
Pete Doty was supposed to be the guy.
And then old busted can of biscuits, Zeb Nolan comes out. They literally have to cut his jerseys under his throwing arm because he's just breaking out of it. Because he was coaching, bro. I don't think people get it. He was coaching. He was done playing football.
Imagine you going, Remy, okay, my career is over. I'm hanging up the boots. And then 4 months of not playing football at all, becoming a coach in the body form too, not working out.
And now you're starting SEC football games.
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm one of the biggest Spencer Rattler critics there was from last year because he was not good last year. I get that. But he's a massive upgrade from a literal graduate assistant coach. So
yeah. So like I said, there's some situations where, yes, maybe we shouldn't deserve to win some football games last year because we played very poorly. We got very lucky in a couple, and that's what. Now, here's the difference. This is how you become a great coach. You take those lucky ass games, there's momentum. You beat North Carolina in a bowl game, and you platform off of that, right?
Mm-hmm. You dump mayonnaise on your head.
No, and this is what I hope he does, because the opposite is what Muschamp did. Muschamp got lucky with that Outback Bowl game. We played out of our mind. We played one of the worst Michigan quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life that game. He gets a giant contract, and that was the highlight of his coaching career for South Carolina. So you got to be able to platform and springboard off of it. I just hope that our offensive line, and that's all if you ask me what I look for when I watch football, I watch the offensive line of a football team. If they're incompetent and they can't play football, the rest of it don't matter.
You're done. It doesn't matter. Can't do nothing. We had a stable of running backs last year. We got another stable of running backs this year, and it means nothing if we can't block. You got to be able to block. Ever since you pointed it out to me last year, and it's going to be the only thing like right off the rip that I'm focusing on, is how close together those offensive linemen stand.
Bro.
Because if you've watched any football ever in your life,
ever in your lifetime,
you know that your offensive linemen aren't supposed to be on top of each other,
They're literally touching legs.
touching each other. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen that before, ever. So that's gonna be the first thing I pay attention to. Is are they
Is the
are they
offensive line
hooking
splits.
legs?
Do you remember when Texas Tech was really good? Do you
And
remember
they
those
would-
splits?
Yeah, I mean, like almost sideline to sideline, bro.
Yes.
That offensive line.
That offensive line was
You could fit a truck between the guard and the tackle.
because, dude, but it made natural passing lanes for the shorter
Mhm.
quarterback.
Yep.
Not everything's in your grill, like you're getting
Mhm.
swarmed. I just don't understand it. I'm not even a coach, and this shit don't make no sense.
That's what drives me nuts, man. As we sit here, we're literally just a couple of dudes who played a little bit of high school football. We watch the games in and out. We don't get paid for this shit. We just sit here and watch it. And I'm like, bro, what is this? Like,
This is trash.
there is somebody that gets paid a shit ton of money to go in every week and go, this is how our offensive line is going to be. We're going to stand on top of each other. It's literally like we're in like field goal formation every play.
I know.
Hug it up, cross arms, Red Rover this shit,
It's
bro.
like you don't have nobody to be like, hey, bro, this shit ain't working. We need to.
Why did it take us 13 weeks to fix it? Is like, bro, something ain't right. We can't block a damn soul. Maybe we make some adjustments.
Literally, our
Also-
guys was blocking air
Bro.
and themselves.
Bro, so Caleb was over here this weekend, and it just happened to be the replay of the bowl game with North Carolina.
Yeah.
And as great as we played in that game, there were still multiple plays where I watched offensive linemen just running down the field, not blocking anyone. There's
Bro.
no one close to them. Like,
Dude, I don't care what you do, what you say. If there is a missed assignment on a drive, that drive's dead.
yeah, oh yeah.
1st and 10, okay, you run the ball 4 yards. 2nd and 9, sack. 3rd and 16, that drive's gone.
That's done. You got a little bit better chance in college, but still not great. Not
Right.
especially not with Zeb Nolan. I love Zeb Nolan.
Bro,
love Zeb Nolan. What he
was running
did for
his
us.
life.
What he did for us, I love it. But I mean, what are you gonna do?
What do you?
So
But yeah,
hype.
so you know,
hype, Matt. To go back to the general question, we're hype, baby.
we are hype. I mean,
Hype
I
for
feel
7 or 8 wins, but hype.
hype. It's going to be fun to watch him play this year. I think that's going to be it. It's fun to see where we go. Also, really look forward to the Arkansas game. That's going to be a big
Very
parameter,
much.
barometer of how we are. I guess you could say. I'm hyped for. I'm actually looking forward to college football. I'm going to go to some Arizona State games out here. They're going to be terrible, so nobody's going to go.
You and the 10 other people.
They lost their quarterback because they're in all that controversy of they had like practice during COVID and they was doing a lot of illegal recruiting. Well, whatever. So tomorrow, by the way, Remy, marks 1 month till college football starts. The 27th of next month.
Oh,
Actually, it's going on 26th.
Let's go.
It's actually one month from today. So
Well, now I'm even more hype. Now I'm even more hype, baby. Hogs by
Yeah,
20.
Herm
Get
Edwards-
out of here, Matt. Hogs by 20. You
Herm
ain't even
Edwards-
scoring
Herm
20,
Edwards did
baby.
get him in some stuff. So, as that comes closer, we're going to start doing, our predictions and stuff like that. When people start practicing, when that pigskin starts getting thrown again, you just feel it in the air, dude. There's no better time of year, really,
No.
honestly.
And I mean, like, college football is a month away. All the NFL teams reported to training camp today.
Yep.
It's in the air.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
in the
Training
air.
camp's back. When is the Hall of Fame game?
I can tell you.
The Hall of Fame game's next week.
Is it really?
It's next week. 8-4. Literally next
Jesus
Thursday.
Christ. We're
So,
back, baby.
We're back, baby.
We're back,
We're
baby.
back. Also, you know who's back? The QB room at the Panthers, because apparently we're keeping 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I don't know who's getting Hard Knocks. I'll look it up.
they did announce it. It is
Hard Knocks NFL will be Colts. Is that right?
I think so.
No, that was last year. They did that end the season. Detroit Lions will be featured in the latest season of HBO Hard Knocks. That was March of this past. Yeah. So it looks like
Old Dan Campbell. Oh,
5-episode
kneecaps.
season debuts Tuesday, August 9th.
Oh, biting kneecaps, Dan Campbell. That's gonna be fun to watch. That dude's a maniac.
He's a maniac.
He's an absolute Looney Tune. It'll be fun to watch, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, some Hard Knocks are just snooze fest, like the Tampa Bay one. And some Hard Knocks are kind of cool. The Raiders one was pretty cool. I enjoyed that one because they also had a bunch of Looney Tunes, and the head coach. He says lame. You don't like the? That's going to be a good one, I think. The Lions.
It'll
Hard
be
Knocks,
fun to watch. I mean, the team is not very good,
right?
But they will be fun to watch. Dan Campbell's a treasure.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
If you don't know much about Dan Campbell, that man is a treasure.
You like the Ravens one? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just fun to watch football.
Former Miami Dolphins legend Dan Campbell, interim head coach. So, I mean, the team played tough for him. We were a bad football team. Dan Campbell took in. They played hard. Lions played hard last year, too. They lost a couple heartbreaking games.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? What the Lions got out of some of their skill position.
I mean, yeah.
And how bad
that team was atrocious.
Ross St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best rookie wide receivers in the history of the sport of football last year. Like, believe it or not, it's, people they didn't get talked about a lot because they're the Lions, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best rookie receivers ever. Yeah. So, they got some, and they got, if Jameson Williams comes back and plays, they got some pieces there. They're not a playoff team, of course, but I mean, that could be a 6-7 win team.
I love their tackle. They got my boy.
Yeah. And he's a dog.
Yeah, he's an animal.
He is an absolute dog.
He literally gets out of his stance before anybody else moves on the entire offensive line. Like the guy's barely moving the football, and he's already out of his stance back there.
So, a couple other little NFL tidbits that have happened in the past couple of days. The big news today that came out, of course, is Julio Jones has reached a 1-year deal with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So Julio is a Buccaneer.
What I saw out of Julio last year just makes me go, is it even a deal? Like, it's something.
It's one of those things where, I mean, he's clearly not what he was.
Yeah, he's over the hill for sure.
I honestly, all I think it is, because I don't think Godwin's going to be ready for the start of the season. So I think they just brought in Julio to place that stopgap, and maybe Julio makes it through 4 games. Maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm sure to be like a lot of incentives based contract.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's not. There's no way he's making any money off of it.
Yeah,
they're just trying to. I mean, best case scenario, he's their next Antonio Brown, where he actually does put up some good numbers. But I think it's just like a stopgap. That was one of the things I wanted to mention too. Did you see this about Darius Leonard?
He's now Shaquille Leonard.
After how many years now? 4 years.
I don't care.
People calling you.
I don't care. He can be Shaquille Leonard. He is unbelievable.
Yes. I'll call you whatever you want. Dude, he doesn't get the respect he deserves. I swear. Like, I know people say
the Colts are going to be sneaky good.
I mean, it all comes down to Matt Ryan. I mean, that's really what it comes down. And he is an upgrade.
He's an upgrade.
He's an upgrade. But the question marks are going to be Matt Ryan. I mean, I like Michael Pittman, but outside of Michael Pittman, who's catching the ball? Jonathan Taylor's a stud. Their offensive line stacked. Their defense is stacked.
Defensive line stacked. Their secondary stacked. Their linebacker core stacked. They're nasty. We got to see what Matt Ryan can do if he has the arm strength. But I will say their skill position is lacking. Yep. And they were interested in trying to find a free agent wide receiver. I don't know if you saw that they brought Reggie Wayne back. And he's coaching. And they said that he's like the veteran wide receiver that they were missing, but he's a coach.
Yeah, it's not going to help them as much on Sundays whenever Matt Ryan's throwing the ball to.
But yeah, he came back. So I've always been a sneaky. I'm not saying I like the Colts, but I think that they could be good. Yeah. I think the fact that they were a win away against Jacksonville last year and failed, and then gave up a first round pick for nothing. to lose to Jacksonville. Not great. When they made that trade for Carson Wentz, we were sitting there thinking like, this is gonna be a first round pick. Like just looking at how they're gonna play it. And then they were in a situation where they're like, do we just bitch him and not give up the pick, but then not go for it? I don't know.
I think the other one that was pretty interesting today that came out was the 49ers brass officially came out and said it's Trey Lance's show.
Which is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because last time I seen Trey Lance throw a football was not great.
It is a unique situation for sure. Because I'm not a Jimmy G guy.
But also, listen, Jimmy G is a guy that's just going to get you to the playoffs, get that team to the playoffs, and that's about it. But also, as a coaching staff, they invested heavily into Trey Lance.
And I mean, you got to look at it from this standpoint is they think Trey Lance is an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. And this team is good enough to get to an NFC Championship game, to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. So if Trey Lance is an upgrade, then you got to think that they believe that they could win a Super Bowl that way. The issue is we don't know that.
I watched a lot of Trey Lance last year because he took over from played a couple games. Mm-hmm. The only problem is he doesn't look comfortable. And that could come with time.
Yeah.
You got to play him, but he's not processing it.
He's played 10 football games in his entire life outside of high school at this point. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
Jimmy G, I think he goes to the Seahawks.
There's just no way. And I said this last week, there's no way Seattle goes into the season with Drew Lock and Geno Smith as their top tier quarterback options.
I think he goes to Seahawks.
No way. Seattle,
nice
I mean,
of course. Rocking it.
There's no way.
I think Atlanta's just going to ride it. They're going to run with Mariota.
Yeah, I mean, they are. They brought him in for that reason.
Right.
I don't think it's great, but that's what they're going to go with.
Here we go. Remy, what are we saying?
He's going to be the 16th best quarterback in the NFL. That's what he's going to be. He's going to be good.
For the Panthers?
I mean, y'all.
We had the 34th best quarterback.
For the Panthers, we're talking, you got DJ Moore, who's a stud. If Robbie Anderson can get back to just being a wide receiver too.
We have the kid from LSU who's been
Marshall.
He's going to be a hooper.
So, yes, but also let's not act like the Panthers are not, they've got skill position players. But it all comes to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey being healthy and our offensive line. Our offensive line was a joke last year.
Yeah.
But they've invested heavily in it, and I think it's going to be vastly improved. Once again, if you can't block anybody,
it don't matter.
Nothing else matters.
Don't matter.
Just ask Tua Tagovailoa.
Nothing else matters, baby.
Tua Tagovailoa has to throw it in 1 second, or he's getting sacked last year.
Yeah, well.
But he don't throw the ball deep.
Throw the ball deep. He can't.
He literally cannot.
Can't. You got 2 seconds or you die.
Yeah.
It's your two options. So also that came out, bro, the media, I can't stand the media, bro. It's like every chance they get to talk to Tyreek Hill, they just take it. They're like, Tyreek will just talk, baby. Let's just go talk to Tyreek and let's ask him these ridiculous questions. And he's gonna hype up Tua.
He's going to hype up Tua.
The media, what is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? They ask him about Tua, he's gonna be like, I don't know, dude. I don't even know if Tua's any good, bro. Like,
I'm just here to collect a check, bro.
What's that gonna sound like? Of course he's gonna hype up his guy. But the media's run, because yesterday he was on ESPN. I kept seeing it over and over again.
But who would you rather have, Remy? Baker Mayfield or Tua? I took Tua.
Well, I mean, right now I'd rather have Tua because I still think the ceiling is higher. But Baker has taken a team to the playoffs. He's won a playoff game. So I mean, he's not a bad quarterback. Yeah. He's a decent quarterback. So I mean, I think the ceiling could be higher for Tua. I think with the right coach, hopefully,
maybe Baker will ball out. I think Tua is one of the best football players I've ever seen in my life, and I think he's going to do well. He just has to get the man came back from a broken hip.
Yeah.
And then
He should have never played that first year. I said it over and over and over again. He should have never played the
and
first
then he came
season.
back and played, and then you didn't play and took him out at the end. It was weird.
Awful. It was absolutely awful. But I'm excited. Like you said, dude, Hall of Fame game's right around the corner. So your boy's about to get really excited. So pretty hyped up for that.
Yeah, pretty hyped up for my Bills. They're gonna be good this year.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Couple other little tidbits. Couple retirements. Chris Carson, running back for the Seahawks.
Hey, Caleb's got him in fantasy.
Oof, big tough.
Guess who needed running backs going in this year?
Big tough break there, Caleb. We actually were talking about that this week.
Hey, guess
Real
what?
Sorry, Caleb.
Your boy got running backs. Holla at me.
So Chris Carson had to retire due to the neck injury. Sucks, man. I think the kid was hella talented. Seattle's mismanaged the running back position for a long time now. I thought Chris Carson could have been something good.
He battled through some injuries.
Yeah,
He looked the part, that's for sure.
Never, I think, lived up to like what the expectations were. But you never want to see a guy go out like that. Neck injury. Just hope that he's able to. It should be he's young enough. He can.
Do they have turf over there?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think it's a natural grass field.
But I just feel like if you're a running back, I would rather play on natural grass than turf.
Danny Amendola also announced his retirement.
Oh, damn!
2-time Super Bowl champion,
Danny
former
Amendola.
Miami Dolphins legend, Danny Amendola. He
kicked that field goal.
He did. He kicked the field goal. Big news for me. Hopefully, nothing comes from it.
Penny is a scrub.
Well, I mean, Chris Carson retiring. That's huge for old Kenneth Walker.
Yeah,
that just opens that up even more for Kenneth Walker to potentially
Penny's
take
trash.
over that.
Don't ever believe in that kid.
Joe Burrow. Surgery he's having an appendectomy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dear God, whoever that surgeon is, please take care of my boy.
Yeah, it's funny how they're the creme de la creme now of that division.
Well, I mean, they drafted Joe Burrow.
Not according to Madden.
Oh God, yeah, Matt, dude, I'm done.
How about your boy in Madden, Remy?
I'm done. It's a sham. All of you listening, you need to boycott Madden. Never buy that shit again. All right, so I got two gripes for you.
Your boy Xavier, not a top 10 corner, apparently.
All right, I'm gonna get into that one.
Okay.
And as much don't get me wrong, that one hurts more than any of the other ones. But riddle me this, Batman. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been a first-team All-Pro in 2 out of the last 3 seasons, including last year. He was a first-team All-Pro.
Someone say you did really well with that draft pick.
He is not in the top 10 safeties in Madden.
Stop. I didn't know that.
Madden does not have Minkah Fitzpatrick as in the top 10 safeties in the game. He is a 2-time first-team All-Pro in the last 3 years.
All-Pro.
All-Pro. First-team All-Pro, meaning he's the best player at his position. They don't have him in the top 10. They do still, however, have Tyrann Mathieu, the number 1 safety in the NFL.
Dude, there ain't no way.
They still have Tyrann Mathieu, number 1. Now, I like Tyrann Mathieu. If you watch
Tyrann Mathieu,
he took a little bit of a step back.
He's a tweener. He's a third down guy.
They don't have Minkah Fitzpatrick in the top 10 safeties in the game. But then that brings me to the next point. Xavier Howard has an argument to be the best corner in the game. He can be argued that he is the best cornerback in the game because he does everything. He plays man-to-man. He plays zone. He takes the ball away. He literally wins us football games on his own shoulders.
Yes.
Multiple times.
He is
last
insane.
year.
To be a corner for dude, he is nuts.
Last year, Madden had him ranked 6th. I personally would I think he's 3rd. I think he's 3rd best corner in the league.
Right.
They had him 6th, whatever. How, after last year, in which he balled out again, 5 more interceptions, ton of pass breakups, couple massive turnovers to win football games.
Mhm.
You go, yep, not in the top 10. You're downgraded. How is Stephon? I love Gilmore, but clearly Gilmore last year was not the same caliber player
He only played third downs.
as
And
Xavier
and
Howard.
he would match up against tight ends.
I mean, it's the disrespect is wild. Also, did you know? And this is just me being on my little Dolphins high horse. Did you know that they have Tua and Teddy Bridgewater ranked the same overall rating? They're both 75 overall.
Stop.
They have Tua and Teddy Bridgewater as
Teddy
the same overall rating, which is just upsetting.
2-glove Teddy.
Yeah, I mean,
Teddy
like,
2 gloves.
old Teddy backup Bridgewater, which he don't get me wrong, great backup to have.
Dude, we can
Same
say
rating as
talk
Tua.
about
Madden. I'm about to buy Madden. I done told somebody this. I'm going to buy Madden. I'm going to go and I'm going to fix all their shitty ratings. I'm going to upload my roster, and then I'm going to uninstall the damn game and ask for a refund. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, we know Caleb. He said
Okay,
that.
19 and 20, not 21. But look
Yeah.
at his numbers from 21. He had like 124 tackles, several turnovers. Like, the dude was still a stud last year. He's a top 10 safety in the NFL. They do have Devontae Adams over Cooper Kupp. I do think
Cooper Kupp's got to do it a little more than
Yeah.
get the nod. in my
I
opinion.
think it's just crazy though, man. My man won the triple crown in receiving last year. And people still are like, "Oh, it's the system. Oh, it's this." Oh, bro, I'm tired of that shit. I hate when people say, "Oh, it's the system."
Bro,
So
I'm
you're
telling you,
punishing him for being in the
First
right
off,
system?
we need a retrospect. We need to let the Rams know that we need our rings.
I mean, yes.
We need our rings.
I need my ring, baby.
I
Like,
mean, we literally talked it into fruition. We talked about it for half a year.
spoke it into existence.
Well, like, you know where he should go? He should go play for the Rams.
Matt Stafford should be a Ram. I think specifically we said, you know, if the Rams got Matt Stafford, they'd be Super Bowl
They
contenders.
would be Super Bowl contenders. They literally won the Super Bowl.
And then they won the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford can't buy a Pro Bowl. Part of that is your fault, Caleb. You old Cam Newton homer.
Matt Stafford last year was unbelievable.
Didn't make the Pro Bowl.
He's literally out here throwing no look.
What is he?
He's
two-time
throwing
Pro
no
Bowl?
look passes in the Super Bowl.
Two-time Pro Bowler, I think. That's embarrassing. He's got to make the fewest Pro Bowlers ever for a Hall of Famer. It's going to be nuts.
The Rams are going to be really good this year, too.
Oh, I mean, yeah. They're going to be loaded. They are loaded. It's stupid. I love that, though. That's like, I'm not a Rams fan, but
No.
that mentality, bro, is I wish the Dolphins, I've got a little taste of it this year. When we were just like Teron Armstead and Tyreek Hill in a 24-hour span. It's like, what is going on? My head was spinning.
Dude, you got to be hyped for the Dolphins.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You
I
have
mean,
you have one of the
literally,
best
yes.
tackles in the league, and you have the fastest wide receiver to ever play football.
I mean, the question marks that I have are just like, A, is Mike McDaniel going to be a good head coach? We don't know.
Right.
We won't know that until we start playing games.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's an offensive-minded coach and that we built around Tua. I think that's great. The offensive line still has 2 question marks. We'll see. I think outside of that, the other 3 spots are pretty set in stone. Our playmaking is insane. I don't think people are realizing the speed of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and
Oh.
Cedric Wilson and Mike Gesicki and Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds. It's going to be nuts. The fact that Myles Gaskin is going to go from being our number 1 running back for the last 3 years to literally not making the team,
I mean,
literally
that's-
not going to be on the roster.
That's got to warm your heart a little bit.
Just a little bit. I mean, so Caleb brought it up today. This was weird. We signed Mohamed Sanu today.
Big, tall guy, lanky.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because we got Preston Williams, which, you know, he could easily just be on the roster bubble and cut him and let Sanu play. So I'm interested in it's weird. I don't, you know.
You know what's funny about Sanu? Never been a great player. Very serviceable guy.
Just a serviceable dude, reliable guy.
A reliable guy,
not going to
big
make
guy.
mistakes.
He goes out and
Mhm.
he'll get you 50 yards and 5 catches, and
Yeah.
very good blocker too. He's a very big
And he can
guy.
throw the ball. So a little trick play, a little trickeration. He's got a really good arm on him.
There you go.
College quarterback, Mohamed Sanu.
Tom Brady, 97 overall. Wait, the GOAT.
I don't understand the Madden thing with like I get why Tom Brady's very highly rated. I don't understand how he's ahead of the 2-time defending MVP, Aaron Rodgers. I don't get it. I mean, listen,
Bro, did you see what Aaron Rodgers?
Bro,
Did you?
Did I?
My
And
man
did it,
showed
did
up.
it almost change my entire opinion of Aaron Rodgers? Seeing my man show up as Nicolas Cage, the
Nicolas
training
Cage
camp?
from Con Air.
Bro, like I may hate me some Aaron Rodgers.
He nailed
but,
that. He
bro,
nailed it.
I mean, nailed it. Listen, I'll be a regular season Aaron Rodgers fan. How about that?
No, you know what? Aaron Rodgers was saying, "Now you got my attention. Now you got my
now
attention.
you got my attention." I mean, nailed the look. Nailed the look.
Absolutely nailed it.
I mean, who knows how good they're going to be this year? But if he shows up to every game like that,
You know, they need help.
they do.
They
do need
They
help.
need bodies.
Their wide receiving core is trash.
It's hilarious.
It was already not very good outside of Devontae Adams, and then they traded Devontae Adams away.
Devontae Adams was unbelievable for my fantasy team
It's
on the Packers.
oh yeah, that was the other thing, Devontae Adams. So what are your thoughts
99
on
overall.
what are your thoughts on Devontae Adams saying that he's going? It's not going to be that difficult going from one Hall of Famer to another.
Damn, goated. To be fair, his best friend is Carr.
Yes. So like this is the
That's
same
his
shit with
best
Tyreek
friend.
Hill in
Yeah.
the media. It's what do you want Devontae Adams to say? What do you want him to say? You want him to come out and be like, dude,
You know,
I don't know, man.
people forget they went to college together and stuff. Very weird friendship. You would not peg them as being best friends.
College roommates.
College roommates, yep.
Devontae Adams, Derek Carr. Best friends. Also, but what do you want him to say? What do you want?
Because it's funny because remember the report came out and said that the Packers matched everything.
And he still was like, no.
he chose to go play
yeah.
with his best friend over Aaron Rodgers and that loony.
Well, yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is a Looney Tune.
But Con Air Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Con Air, and also it made Devontae Adams a 99 on Madden.
Right.
But could you imagine like a reporter comes up to your wide receiver and goes, "Hey man, like what do you think it's going to be like not playing with Aaron Rodgers and having Derek Carr as your quarterback?" And he goes, "I don't know, man. Derek Carr's nowhere near as good as Aaron Rodgers. So
right. So we'll see.
I'm probably gonna suffer. My numbers are probably gonna fall. We're probably gonna suck. It's gonna be real tough, you know. But I got paid, so like, you know, let's get it.
Let's
like,
go.
what do you want him to do?"
Yeah.
And you add on top of it that it's literally his best friend. What do you want him to say, bro?
Right.
Like, what do you want him to say? Nah, dude. Derek Carr's dog water, bro.
But then they come out and they had the whole thing about Hill being the biggest Tua stan and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you want to come out and just trash him? He haven't even played football with him yet.
Yeah.
These guys haven't even lined up with these dudes yet. You want to go ahead and say, you know what? I don't know. Maybe they're not that good.
I just wish the media would keep. I want to be out of the media limelight. The Dolphins have not been a good enough team for 25 years for us to constantly be in the media.
In the media, yeah.
We've not been a good team. We've literally been the definition of mediocre for 25 years. Can we not, bro? The Jimmy G stuff comes out, and all of a sudden, one former NFL executive says a team to keep a close eye on in trading for Jimmy Garoppolo is the Miami Dolphins. The team that has Tua, that they've spent the number 5 overall pick on and picked up Teddy Bridgewater as a pretty expensive backup, is also going to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you hear yourselves, you idiots?
But dude, it's because they're driving the narrative.
Yes.
This bad journalism. He knows. You look at that on paper, like there's no way in hell they're ever going to do that. But they know that there is a group of people
There's
out there
a demographic that's going to click on that.
Hate Tua and will click it and be like, "See, bro, they don't even believe in Tua."
Now they talk about getting Jimmy Garoppolo, and he ain't even no good. I hate it. I hate it here. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's wild. But so,
and also Dolphins fans never are going to ever win anything because they are so used to sucking that they would prefer it. I feel like they cut their nose off despite their own face all the time.
I think I mentioned it to you last week. It's like the amount of hatred within the Miami Dolphin fandom. It's wild. When it comes to Tua, there's really no middle ground. It is, you are either a massive Tua fan or he is the worst quarterback in the NFL. There's no in between for the Miami Dolphins fans. I'm on enough Miami Twitter and Facebook all the damn time. There's no in between. But what's wild to me is the knock on Tua is his arm strength. He doesn't throw the ball very far downfield, blah, 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 blah. And I think I talked to you about this last week. It's like literally the best quarterback the Miami Dolphins have had since Dan Marino retired was Chad Pennington. And you know what he didn't do? He didn't throw the ball downfield. No. And it was because he could not. Tua can throw the ball downfield. We've seen him do it. He threw a pass 65 yards in the air last year. Mm-hmm. Chad Pennington literally could not do it. Just physically didn't have the capability. Literally the best quarterback we've had since Marino left. So, I mean, and Dolphins fans unanimously love Chad Pennington. He took us to the playoffs one year.
It's so weird because it's like, I'm not even a Dolphins fan, and I could pop the game on for 2 seconds to tell you why Tua's struggles sometimes. And it's not because of Tua.
Oh, you mean it's because we can't block and our number one? I mean, our skill
like,
positions were terrible
like
for the most part.
When we literally say Tua has 1 second to throw the football, that is very accurate. Like, that is an actual time that he has.
If you just want to see, you can look up the play in which he got hurt against the Bills last year. And it's literally snap the ball. Before he can even finish his drop back, he gets annihilated in the back. Like just unblocked, basically, from a defensive end who finished the year, I think, with 3 sacks, and that he had 2 of them against us in that game. Like, it literally paid. I mean, it's wild, but people don't watch the games. They listen to the media's narrative, and Tua dumps the ball down a lot.
They just can't form their own opinion of anything. So
Tua was interviewed in a magazine earlier this offseason. They asked him about it. He said, listen, that was the game plan. The game plan was to throw the ball short because we knew we couldn't block long enough to throw a bunch of deep passes. So the game plan was for us to dink and dunk the ball. That was what our team was built around doing. We could not take a lot of shots deep down the field.
I wish there was, maybe we should make a service to where we can really break it down. If you don't understand what's going on in football, maybe we come in and we just break it down for dummies.
Show some clips.
And be like, this is the reasons why why he can't do with
if you things. Watch this defensive end and how no one even looks at him when the ball is snapped. And he absolutely annihilates the quarterback.
That's no good.
That's why
it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. You can have prime Mike Vick. He's getting sacked.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, you just gotta. It's a lot of people that just don't watch it. I mean, shit. When you lived here, bro, it was 4 TVs deep in the living room, baby. We're watching every game.
Right.
Every game's on. Me and you. I think that's one of the big things is. The details to it, the trenches, really. Not a lot of people pay attention to the trenches. It's literally the only thing I watch on the snap. When the ball snapped, I'm watching the trenches. I'm seeing who's winning those battles, and that's going to determine everything. If you're running the ball, you don't block anyone, guess what? Play's going nowhere. Yep. You're passing, you better throw it quick, because if you don't block them, your quarterback's getting sacked. And then, like you said, especially in the NFL, you're converting 3rd and 15s once out of every 10 times if you're lucky. So that drive's over. You give up that sack, that drive's over. You might as well just punt. Mm-hmm. So,
most time right before the ball's hiked, I always look at the offensive line. The ball snapped. I continuously look at the offensive defensive line for about a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And then my eyes will shift to the quarterback.
Like I'm playing quarterback.
Some developing routes or something like that. That's how I watch football. I've always watched it that way because I found out that if you don't block, this shit ain't gonna work.
Did you watch any of the games where I think it was the USFL where they had the camera behind the quarterback? Did you watch any of that?
No,
So I'm pretty sure it was USFL, but they have a camera that lines up behind the quarterback. Or no, it was the national championship game in college. If you watched it on ESPN2, they had the camera behind the quarterback so you could see the actual play developing in front of him. And I'm like, dude, that should be like an option all the time.
Right.
Like you can actually, on a pass play, you can see somewhat what the quarterback is seeing. I love that. I thought that was awesome. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Give me that. Give me the Madden view. on
Imagine
in the
Kyler
game.
Murray's view behind the offensive line.
Yeah, give me the Kyler Murray view of the back of everyone's heads because he's 4'2".
Dude, there's no way he can see. You know, you think about that.
No,
There's no way he could see a route developing.
there's no.
The reason why he runs around and runs out the pocket is so he could see.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I mean, get away from everybody, but yeah. So before we get out of here, Remy, I think you talked about doing it. We talked about doing it last week. I'm gonna let you take over.
This was something I saw something like this online, and I thought it would be real fun for me and you to get into a little bit. So we're gonna dive into our top 5, baby. So you don't know my list, I don't know your list. This is gonna be just a really good way for us to debate and argue.
This week, tell them what we're top 5 in this week.
In honor of baseball season, and because you're my best friend, I know how much you love the Atlanta Braves.
Damn right.
I wanted to get your top 5 all-time Braves. Now, some of this, of course, when I was doing my research, some of this goes back to the Milwaukee Braves. And that,
of course,
I'm including that. I'm including that.
Yeah.
Top 5.
You got to.
All-time Braves. Now, this is stack ranked. You're going 5 to 1.
All right, so we're gonna do this. You give your 5, I give my 5.
Okay.
Then I'll give my 4. You give your 4. We'll
okay.
Like snake. We'll snake.
You like that? Snake it.
We'll snake it.
My number 5 Atlanta Brave of all time is John Smoltz.
John Smoltz.
I went with Smoltzy.
Okay.
I loved. I mean, he was part of that 3 aces back in the day.
Yep, he was.
Good
starter,
starter,
then reliever.
Reliever, was a really, really good closer. You know, he did it all, and he did it all for a very long time. You know, he got him a Cy Young in there. Really reinvented himself after some injuries. Came back as a closer. Spent a lot of time being a really, really good closer. I have John Smoltz as my number 5 Atlanta Brave of all time.
Okay. I have as my number 5 Atlanta Brave of all time, Freddie Freeman. And you know how much I hate him. But I think he deserves to be in it right now. He did end up winning. He stuck it out with us when we were really bad. He was Mr. Brave forever. I mean, the man was a walk-in 300. You know, his power numbers really picked up. One of the best defensive players in his position forever for the Braves. He played with the Braves forever. And so he's coming in at my number 5.
So remember how I told you I had to make a change at the end? Right before we started.
Oh, so now I'm back on 4. It's my 4.
So literally I told you like right before we started that I had to make a change. I'll tell you what that change is here in just a second. Who is your number 4?
Is Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy.
Love Dale Murphy. You know, back in the day, his numbers are nuts. He was unbelievable. It's like this is my dad's favorite baseball player, one of his favorite baseball players. He was the Atlanta Braves for a long time.
Yep.
So
I looked pretty hard at Dale Murphy. It was real tough. I don't have him in my top 5.
He gets disrespected.
He does. He was right there, right outside of my top 5. My number 4 is Freddie Freeman. And that was my change at the end. I had him at 5 and I moved him to 4. And I say that because if not for the World Series, I don't know if he cracks that top 5.
He's not in the list, yeah.
But you win a World Series as the best player on the team for as long as he was on the team. He brought an MVP award. He just had to crack my list. And so I had him at 5. I brought him down to 4. MVP, World Series champion, you know, Mr. Brave for the past decade. I had to put him in there. So my number 4 is Freddie Freeman.
Okay, so just back on you.
My number 3 Atlanta Brave of all time, and this was tough because I looked back and there's some toughies out there for this one, but my number 3 goes to Tom Glavine. And I put Tom Glavine in there. I wasn't going to at first until
you're going to have the whole pitching staff in there.
I looked at the numbers at what Tom Glavine did as a Brave. And Tom Glavine's run as a Brave was pretty damn impressive. 2-time Cy Young Award winner with the Braves, and we're
Wait.
talking.
Wait a second. So if he's your number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're going to be missing out on at least one that's going to be impossible to miss out on one.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I
I
was like-
goofed. I goofed hard right here.
I was like,
I had him listed too, and I just deleted it. Okay, check that.
I was
We're
like,
gonna
wait, he's your
move-
number 3.
We're gonna
You
move
got-
2 up to 3. We're gonna move my list up 1. Okay, so I guess that would put number 3 then as Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux would go in ahead of Tom Glavine.
Yeah.
That was tough though. Yeah, man, shit. I had him wrote down. I actually accidentally
Yeah.
deleted it.
No, I mean, don't get me
Um,
wrong. I think Tom Glavine was great at getting wins. He was a very, ground ball pitcher, but he was good. It's hard for me to say Tom Glavine's the 5th top 5 best Brave of all time. He was unbelievable. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's really insane.
I mean, he
Um,
finished top 3 in the Cy Young Award 6 times as a Brave. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty damn impressive. And to not even be the best pitcher on your own team for
Right.
most of that is pretty.
So that's
crazy.
why for me, so you're going Greg
So
Maddux.
bump my list all the way up one. Don't mind me. I was putting this list together 5 minutes before we went on the air.
Yeah.
So yes,
Okay.
Tom Glavine, I guess,
I was
would then
thinking, I
go
was
to
like-
4. Smoltz is out of the top 5. Freddie
Okay.
goes to 5.
Okay, that sounds way better. My number 3 is, of course, Greg Maddux. The man was
Mhm.
unbelievable. Gary Sheffield. Greg Maddux, he painted, he dotted, he pitched up and down and in and out. He pitched, his stuff was just, it wasn't electric, but dude, he dominated. He's only walks, the stats on Greg Maddux. is
The stats are
nutty.
wild. The things you can throw out
The
there
things
about
you
him.
can throw out about Greg Maddux is crazy. So if you ever have time, I recommend you just go find some Greg Maddux stats.
He was different than anyone else, man. Like when you think about, because he never was a flamethrower. Like he
Man
lived
throws like 80 pitch complete games.
he lived in that like 88 to 92 mile an hour range with his fastball. He wasn't blowing anyone away, but he literally was just dotting, bro. He was nuts. He was crazy.
Yeah.
So
All right,
yes,
So that's back on me for number 2.
for number 2.
My second best Brave of all time is Chipper Jones.
Okay.
Literally the Brave, Mr. Brave, was unbelievable for however many years. He was the number 1 draft pick coming out, number 1 pick for the Braves. He stuck around. He was a switch hitter. He played great D. Chipper Jones is his stats are also pretty wild. If you ever look up his third base stats compared to everybody else. So in my opinion, he is the second best Brave of all time.
No arguments there. After reevaluating my list, I would have had him at second as well. It just growing up in Braves country, it was Chipper. At first it was Chipper and Andrew. You had the Joneses, and Andrew left.
Andrew was close.
fell off
I was going to go
after
Andrew,
he left.
but
Andrew
Jones-
left, and
Dude,
and kinda
when
fell
Andrew
off.
Jones
Chipper
was in his
stayed.
prime, when Andrew
Oh, he
Jones
was
was in his
nuts.
prime, he was unbelievable.
He was nuts. But Chipper was like, and he was just consistent. It was a year in and year out. You knew what you were going to get from Chipper. And he never left the Braves. Never, almost 20 years he spent in the organization, on the major league roster. So that's pretty crazy. That, amount of time with the team, what he meant to the team. Also got a World Series ring, also had an MVP. Very similar career path to Freddie. Had Freddie stayed the whole time.
Chipper and Freddie
So-
are best friends, and
Yeah.
it just didn't end up working out for Freddie for all the reasons we all know in the media, and I don't want to talk about ever again. And of course, I think our number 1 is the King, the Hammer and Hank. I don't. That's got to be
Oh,
your number
yeah.
1. Yeah,
Well, I mean, yes.
Hank
It's
Aaron.
Hank Aaron.
Hank
Hank
Aaron,
Aaron.
Hammer and Hank.
Hank Aaron, who that's why I had to clarify the Milwaukee stances. He spent a lot of
Right.
time as a Milwaukee Brave. before they became the Atlanta Braves. But the disputed home run king, Hank Aaron, between him and Bonds. But Hank Aaron, great player. And I see on here, Jacob said top 10 would have been better. And I don't disagree that the top 10 would be great, but I wanted it to be tough. I wanted it to be like, you got to kick some people out. So like Wes put in here Warren Spahn. I went, look, I didn't know. I knew Warren Spahn was a Hall of Fame
He was
pitcher.
nasty.
I didn't know like all
Sorry.
the
So,
details.
all right. So we'll give our 3 best or notable mentions.
Your honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
It's Warren Spahn. Definitely goes into the honorable mention. Like I said, my whole list gets bumped up
All right.
one, which would have put Smoltzy as an honorable mention.
This is my 3. I'm
Okay.
gonna just tell my 3 straight up. I say Eddie Matthews, old school Brave,
Mhm.
unbelievable. And then I'm going to go. I'm still bumping those pitchers back even farther than they should be. I mean, this is the point where they should be Tom Glavines and stuff come in. But I'm gonna go a little off the beaten path, and I'm gonna go Craig Kimbrell. He was unbelievable when he was a Brave.
Kimbrel. Short run though.
And I'm gonna say Fred McGriff,
The crime dog.
the crime dog, baby.
Okay.
You can tell like my position players.
Yeah. So I
Like
looked
I said,
at,
right there is where the pitcher should be.
I looked at Warren Spahn and said, man, it's real tough not to put this guy in here. Literally a 17-time All-Star, Cy Young Award winner, 3-time ERA title, and 17 All-Stars with the Braves, you know.
Marcus
Oh, yeah.
Russell, Jeff Bauer. Look at this. Do you see what you just got?
Yeah. Did you see that today?
No.
They're going back to the old team
Let's
with the horse.
go.
Bro, I've been saying it for so long. They need to go back to that look. I literally get home. They're on ESPN dogging it, bro. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Their
Bro.
look right now is so fucking plain Jane, white jersey, red and blue outline Pistons.
There's a lot of teams in the NBA that need to go back.
Give me the flaming horse with the tailpipe sticking out, teal jersey. It's the look. People are like, well, they never won nothing in that jersey. What have they won lately?
Bro,
In the
terrible.
damn regular jerseys they wear. They're
Stop.
awful.
They're
They're terrible.
Like, do you
Yes,
even hear yourself right now?
they won championships in those jerseys in the 80s and the early 2000s. They ain't done shit in 22 years.
Bro,
Give me my teal jerseys. Them shits is sick.
there's some teams, the Magic, then the
Magic,
back.
Toronto, the Raptors.
Literally,
You literally had maybe the best jersey in basketball.
you have literally one of the coolest mascots, bro. You have a
Figure it out.
dinosaur as a mascot.
The old Rockets, the blue with the white pinstripe
Bro.
and the rocket flying across it.
Bro.
Sick. I saw that they are going to
We're
rock that
talking-
as a throwback.
We're talking franchise Rockets.
Yeah.
That is the Rocket logo. That is sick.
Yeah. So sorry, got off track a little bit with my honorable
Dude,
mentions. 'cause
maybe we do
that's
top
sick.
5. That's
sick.
going to be my top 5.
Okay.
Top 5 NBA
So,
uniforms.
This is why I wanted to bring up the top 5 thing. I don't know how many people are still out there listening. I want to give you a chance to come up with a top 5 list for next week. And then I want to pick a fan's, like just at random.
And
We get some comments either on the Facebook video or on the YouTube video. Throw some comments in there about what top 5 list you want to see, and we'll pick one of them. And then me and Terry will do them. Like I said, me and Terry, we don't look at each other's lists here. So it's all on the spot like that. But if that's your list, I'm gonna start doing some research because that's where
top
I
5
go.
NBA uniforms of all time.
Of all
It could
time.
be throwbacks,
Moderns
it could be-
or throwbacks.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess with that being said, my honorable mentions for the Braves would be Warren Spahn, 17-time All-Star with the Braves.
Yeah.
Then I got to go Dale Murphy. You know, he was really close to my list. Another guy, like I didn't grow up watching Dale Murphy, of course. He was a little bit before my time, but 2-time MVP with the Braves. That's pretty damn good. And then I want to say Eddie Matthews here, but I gotta kind of go with the Andrew Jones pick because me growing up, and Eddie Matthews is a Hall of Famer. He's a better baseball player, I think, than what Andrew Jones was.
for
But
you
Andrew
personally-
Jones
Yeah.
I watched him grow. He was literally the closest thing we had to like Griffey in his prime. You know, when Andrew was on the top of his game, he was an amazing defensive outfielder, made insane, spectacular catches, and he could hit bombs. So, like, his career fell off quick. But as a Brave, he never had that fall off. He left the Braves, and then the career started to go downhill. As a Brave, he was always fantastic. So
Bro,
that's my honorable mentions.
I'm really looking forward to this basketball because I have some. My list is going to be a little different than but there is some sick uniforms.
So we're gonna
Back in
go.
the day.
We're gonna go NBA uniforms. Best NBA uniforms. Jacob's really pushing home top 10.
All right,
I
top
like it.
10.
You
Sure.
want to do top 10?
We could do top 10. Might as well because we just did top 8 pretty much, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
So we might as well go
honorable
top
mentions.
10. But dude, I'm looking, dude.
we tried to squeeze top 5
Bro.
into a franchise that's
Bro.
been around for almost.
There is. I'm just
80
sitting there
years.
looking. How is teams go away from these sick uniforms?
I don't
Like
know.
the OG Kevin Garnett Timberwolves.
Yes, and what the thing that it doesn't make sense to me is like they left these uniforms and they went to these plain Jane ass one bolt like plain color with
They're
a
terrible.
logo on. Like not even, most of them don't even have a logo. They just say the name of the team or the city. It's like, bro, give me back my like.
Give me
dude,
the
I'm gonna tell you
Vancouver
right now.
Grizzlies.
Yes, you give me back the jerseys with the actual mascots on them. That's where I'm at. You give me the Grizzlies. You give me the, like I said, the old that Raptors jersey is insane, bro. They had a
The
Raptor
OG
dribbling a basketball for
The
Christ's
OG
sake.
Magic jerseys, the OG Pacers jerseys. Like I'm a sucker for pinstripe, bro. I'm a sucker
Oh,
for some
yeah.
NBA
The
pinstripe.
NBA pinstripes is where it's at, bro.
Uh,
I like
but yeah,
that.
now,
All right.
now you look at all the jerseys; they're all just
They're plain.
they're
They're
very
all
plain.
boring.
I'm not. Well, that'll be next week's episode. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. We're going to sit here and break down. So, also, chat, y'all do y'all's research. Maybe y'all can tell. We can really break down everybody's list of favorite NBA jerseys. Vice City, Miami. I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there.
You want to talk about tough to put in a 5? So Jacob conceded here and said, do a top 5 with 3 honorable mentions like we did tonight.
I don't know.
So
We'll
it's up to
see,
you, man.
We'll decide.
it's your week. So you
Okay.
tell me.
I just think that since there's so many different, I mean,
It's-
you have the OG Mavs jersey, you have the Bullets jerseys. I just think we need to go top 10 with this one.
Okay.
Magic jerseys during the McGrady era. I'm telling you, that was my boy. Tracy McGrady, I bought all the T-Macs. I had all his jerseys. I had all his posters. T-Mac, when he played for the Magic, that was my dude. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This has been fun, though. We kind of
And-
got back in here.
And
and
I also want to throw this out there because, like I said, I do want to pick stuff from the audience,
talk.
and it doesn't have to be top 5 best.
No, it's
Let me
whatever.
throw that out there. It could be top 5 worst.
Well, I mean, it's your own personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's your own list. So, yeah, no. Imagine if they stayed together. Bucks when they actually had a buck. I mean,
Sick. Sick. So
Yeah.
much better what they wear now.
they need. You know what, Remy? You need to tell everybody to put the animals back on the jerseys.
Put the mascots and the animals back on the jerseys, bro. Like, don't listen. The
Remember
Milwaukee Bucks right now wear a white jersey with a green stripe and it says Bucks in green.
It's terrible.
How is that better? How is that better than an
Bro.
actual deer standing on top of a mountain?
The pinstripe, bro. The pinstripe bulls.
Oh,
I'm telling you, though.
this is gonna be a tough list, dude. This is gonna
I'm
be a
telling
tough
you.
list.
I'll tell you ones. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. The Vancouver Grizzlies is going to be up there because
Right.
that jersey is so fucking
That's-
sick.
Fucking bear.
Oh, dude, go back. NBA just needs to go back. Because guess what? What do people wear around town?
They wear the
retro
throwbacks. They don't wear these new jerseys, bro. You go to like anything. You go to a concert. You go to a movie or a music festival. You go anywhere. You ain't seeing these damn plain Jane Raptors jerseys they wear now. You're seeing the old Vince Carter with a damn Raptor dribbling the basketball, dude. That's
Purple
what
Mountain
you're seeing.
Jazz. The Purple Mountain Jazz. All right, I
Purple
gotta get.
Mountain Jazz.
We gotta get out of here, dude. It's gonna be a fun one next week. Everybody tune in. I think we might start actually doing Tuesdays. It's looking more and more like Tuesdays might be our day right now. Wednesdays for some reason or another just hasn't really been working. So we might just change it to Tuesdays. And once the NFL and stuff comes out, we definitely still want to get back on Spotify and keep out for that. But this has been a good hour and a half. It's been a good for everybody, for hanging out with us and stuff. We appreciate all the reactions and all that and hanging out with us. Remy, got anything to tell everybody before we get out of here?
No, man, I really dig this list thing. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think it's gonna open up a lot of.
It's gonna be,
and we're gonna blast it on all the socials.
Oh yeah,
for the people who don't tune in,
put
maybe
our lists out there.
They'll put our list for baseball and then say what we're gonna do next week.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at the chat, dude. The chat started going nuts when we started doing that stuff. And like I said, I want the chat involved in that. I want people to put their list ideas, and then we'll start doing lists from what the people want to hear. So really love it. I think that's one of the things that's going to be a lot of fun between me and you is, we talk a lot outside of this. So whenever a sports topic comes up, we have already talked about it. We kind of know each other's opinions on it. So I'm really interested in getting something where maybe it brings up a big debate. Maybe it gets the two of us going. Maybe we talk more about Rudy Gobert being one of the best defensive players of this generation.
We cannot end on that.
Maybe.
For me, you make me never want to come back.
Maybe. Top one defensive center of all time.
We were doing good. Remy, we were doing so good.
Top one centers of all time, Rudy Gobert.
We were doing so good. And now we're talking Rudy Gobert on our way out.
I mean, I'm just hyped, dude. I'm just hyped. I'm a big
Rudy Gobert?
Rudy Gobert fan.
Hey, I will say, Rudy Gobert walks out in fucking OG Timberwolves gear.
It's over.
I'm hyped. It's over. It's over.
That's all that matters. I don't give a shit they win a game.
Once again, now you got my attention. So, but it was fun. I appreciate everybody coming in. We'll have another big sports talk next Tuesday. Same time, same place, you knuckleheads. We will holler at you goons later.